Pleasant good day, everyone. I just want to have a little chat with all of us concerning mental health and wellness, and also share with you some of the recent points from my self care webinar that I hosted a couple weeks ago. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because of the level of trust that you all shared with me, and in your reflection number 5 on mental health and well-being. And I just want to first and foremost say how happy I am for two things. Number one was that so many of you were able to trust me to share such deep conversations, but also the fact that you are at the place where you are able to share. And that for me is amazing. And so, of course, the course has ended, and I wanted to share a few things with you, and I kind of struggled. Do I share? Do I not share? And every time I say, let me not bother, something inside of me which I follow that says I need to share. And I think I need to share because, or I need to share this presentation with you because you are going now into your summer session, in your summer sessions, and it's going to be the same level or maybe even more layers of work and enrichment and engagement that is necessary and that is needed of you and also of you mentally. When we are face to face, I can remember last summer the number of persons who I felt like did not transition to realize, hey, it's summer, but we're still doing the heavy lifting. And I think at this time it's even more important that I say that to you all, that it is summer, and but it's still master's graduate level work that is expected of you, but also it is also online, and it's COVID, and it's a lot of layers. And how do you maintain your sanity? How do you maintain your best self while getting the results? And that is why I'm doing this. I'm actually making sure I record this in YouTube so other persons can benefit from this. And so I want to take a minute to go through. Let's make it quick. I'm going to try the best to make it quick. Into an idea talking about self care and why self care can isn't so important. So I've already established that as educators, as leaders, as teachers, what is demanded of us is already so much. I always say we need strong teachers to walk into our classrooms every day, because it is something else when 25 or 35 or sometimes 40 students are asking you for stuff and demanding of you stuff. And if you're not in the right place to give to the students, then we're going to have a failed situation. We're going to have a situation where the classroom is not conducive to growth, the classroom is not conducive to learning. And that is why I am investing the time today to have this conversation with you and to create another resource so you can have this chat. So, of course, I'm going to do it the Dr. ABC way. I'm going to chat with you, and I would love for you to post a comment in on the YouTube page and chat back with me if you so desire, so we can get this going. So I put this there because in June I had in June I had my one of my webinar series, and if you notice there on the 19th we had a discussion on self-care. So these slides that I'm sharing with you, my masters students at Oise and at Queens or wherever you are at, persons listening to me, it's from a series that I hosted, and I really want to share with you that you can go to my website and see other stuff and see the other series. But let's get into what I want to talk about. I want to talk about a couple of things quickly. I want to talk about online studies and self-care. I want to talk about the physical self-care. I want to talk about self-care during COVID. We're still during COVID. Filling up your cup, a big one. Self-love, major. How is the inside? Major. I mean, everything is major. Yes, everything is major. And then we're going to talk about our system of self-help. Who do we have around us to help us? So the first thing I want you to do is to think about what is it that you need. All of us, we need different things when it comes to self-care. Some of us, we need a good hug. Some of us, we need proper rest. We don't sleep well. Some of us, we don't eat well. Some of us, we are nervous. We're anxious. We do not cope well. Some of us, what we need is that yoga class. I'm not a yoga person, but some of you, you need that. Some of you need that mindfulness session. here at OISD, we have amazing people who teach courses in mindfulness. And I must say, I personally know from your comments, some of you have spoken to me about the class you did last year in mindfulness, how amazing it was. And I want you to do that. As you learn, you grow. You see, some of us, what we have done, we have detached our learning from ourselves. We go, oh, I'm going to do this course in accounts, but it has nothing to do with me. Of course it does. If you're a good accountant, you must be a good money manager of yourself. You do a course in leadership. If you're a good leadership person, you must also know to lead your own life. Some of us, we are good at leading people, but we are not good in leading ourselves. And so think, what is it that you need? Some of you need more kindness. You need kindness for yourself. Kindness to others, but you need kindness for yourself. Because some of you, you are not kind to yourself. So, who is your, what this one of the questions I asked in my workshop. Let me see if I can move the camera down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me make it a little smaller and move it in a little bit. Some of you, you're good at who is your self-care agent? A person who acts on behalf of another person. That's an agent. But who is a self-care agent? And I asked her, who is your self-care agent? And here's what I want to say to everybody today. Your self-care agent is not somebody else. It is yourself. And I know some of us, we are very hard to swallow this information. And I want to make sure I do it my way, the Dr. ABC way. The self-care agent is you. That's why we call it self-care. Are there other parts in our lives that other people will be responsible for? Absolutely. That's why you are partners. That's why you're married. That's why you're part of families. That's why you have friends. Absolutely. There are people in your lives who are supposed to do the best care and to take care of you. And absolutely that is important. But what is most important is that you know to take care of yourself. So sometimes we want to talk about physical self care. What is a physical self care that we need? And it's all the exercise and the walking, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely important. And for me, during COVID, I did a lot of things that were good for my self care. If you notice down there, I was walking. I got a good snack. I eat popcorn. I know that I'm eating popcorn in bed because it was my time to really take care of myself, to relax, to be calm, to really spend time with myself. And I can tell you, a lot of persons have going through COVID, and people are coming out with different stories. And one of the stories for I have done is I've always spent quality time with myself. As much as my energy is high, and I'm a you know, high energy person, I get along with people. I'm always with people. I have also learned how to establish um, a good space with myself, and that is important. And I put this for a reason. It's about it's about the time I spent with myself. And some of us, we need to do more of that. Whether it's reading a good book, whether it's writing a journal, a cup of tea, a glass of wine. This is a beautiful picture. Of course, it's not of me, but it's a beautiful picture that I chosen because this person was spending quality time with themselves. I'm not sure what they're reading. It looks like a Bible, I think it is, but it can be any book. It's a good cup of tea. It never be a cup of tea. It could be a good glass of wine. And I want you to think about that. A good glass of water. A good glass of water. I want you to think about how we are spending time with ourselves. A very big one for me is also taking care of number one. Number one is you. As educators, as I said before, one of the major things you're going to experience as you go to the classroom is realizing the demand that is going to be placed on you. And teaching is not just about your kids in classroom. If you're a good teacher and any staff, it's going to be about your kids. It's going to be about the parents. It's going to be about the meetings. It's going to be about the committees. It's going to be about the celebration. It's going to be about the school performance. It's going to be about the sports. And every single teacher on a staff gets involved in sports. Sports is a community thing that everybody gets involved in. It's about the Black History Month celebration. It's about the Chinese New Year. It's about the Canada Day. It's about Easter. It's about whatever the school celebration. It's about Eid. It's about all the different holidays you're going to observe and celebrate. It's about Orange T-shirt Day. It's about Bully Week, and you're involved in all of that. It's a lot. You have to know how to measure yourself. You have to know to take care of yourself. And why am I so strong on this? Why is it that after this course is finished, You may think, Dr. Campbell, have you nothing to do? The course is finished. You're spending time to create an entire video for us. Well, I'm actually creating the video for all of us, including myself. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, everyone. I'm creating a video for myself as well because it's a good reminder to us, all of us, how to take care of number one. Number one. You might not see the number one, but the number one is there, right? I will take care of number one. And it's pour into your own cup first. And then you pour in a cup of others. Then you pour in a cup of others. We are good at pouring into others' cup, but we are not good to pour into our own cup. We have to fill up before we can give others. And so, as educators, I want you to take care of yourself and how to fill up. Building others. A lot of us, I find teaching is one of those careers where a lot of us we're just giving. Teachers are giving. I love teachers. I do love teachers because I think teachers are, most of us are amazing. We give the best of ourselves. And I do say most of us because I'm not going to paint a rosy picture that all of us are fabulous and altogether wonderful. No, we have some bad teachers out there. Yes, I said it. We have some uncaring teachers. We have some teachers who are not filled with equity and as we think. We have teachers who are not filled with inclusion. We're not teachers who have not considered their students. They don't have love for other people's children. They don't teach with love. They don't teach with care. I don't want to get into that, but I want to make sure you understand that is a reality in teaching. I want to move quickly. And so what we do, because of the guilt of always caring for others, we always push ourselves into not taking care of ourselves, but taking care of others. We have to take care of ourselves. Love yourself enough to do what you know is really not good, to do without what is not good for you. It's one of my DR.ABC notes to self quote. If you follow me on Instagram or anywhere, you see I post the notes to self a lot. And I say notes to self because you may think I have invested in speaking to you, but what I've done first is investing in speaking to myself. So yes, I go there, I pour my own cup first. If you get to know me, you'll know I pour into my own cup first. And so I want you to do that. Another thing I want you to do is to know how to measure yourself with social media and self-care. Some of you, you're angry because you're angry at what somebody posts. You're angry at what somebody didn't like. You're angry at what somebody didn't share. You have to learn how to deal with social media. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be there. And even a social media break is good for us. Some of you may ask me, have I ever taken a social media break before? I'm going to surprise you. No, I've never, stopped my Facebook or logged off for days and weeks and disappear and put the announcement, you won't see me for a while, I'm going to self-care. People do that and I respect and honor that. I've never done that. Why? It's because I've tried my best. Have I been 100% successful? Maybe not, but I can tell you, I think I'm going to give myself a good 90% of measuring myself. Knowing not to get into every conversation online. The other day, because of Black Lives Matter, all going on with anti-Black racism, I have felt so many people try to pull me in. And sometimes when I want to just live my best life and have a glass of wine and watch Netflix and chill, I could see my inbox and I could see somebody tagging me and I could see they're pulling me. And I have had to learn how not to be a part of every single conversation because I cannot be a part of every single conversation. And you have to realize that you cannot be a part of every single conversation. So now learn how to unplug so you can plug into self-care. And there's something I want to get to so quickly is how is your inside? How are you on the inside? I was asked this question by Pepper Brooks, someone who developed my website. If you go to my website, DR.ABC.ca, at the bottom, you'll see that it was created by Pepper Brooks, an amazing website person. So you can go, website developer, that's a word, right? I use my own words sometimes. And you can go and follow her and even go to her to get your advice about your website. Am I putting in a plug for her? Absolutely. Because her work on my website was amazing. But she asked me this question. She got to know me and she asked me this question once. She said, how are you, DR.ABC? And I said, I'm fabulous. She said to me, how are you on the inside? And I smiled. I smiled a bright, white, broad smile because that's something that we need to be asked more. We need to think about more. How are we on the inside? You can post pictures of you living your best life. You post pictures of you by the beach, by the river. You post a picture of a glass of wine. We all know many of those pictures can be pretentious because some people have been that. They've allowed their lives to become a pretentious visual. You know, if I post that I'm by the river, I am by the river. If I post I'm having a glass of wine, I am having a glass of wine. And that's what you need to do. Be honest with yourself. How are you on the inside? The other day I posted that I was not living my best self for the day. And that was fine. And I said I was fine. I said I was fine. So many persons send me greetings and check-ins and love and all that good stuff. And I loved it. But what I also treasure most, that it was okay for me to say, I am not feeling all glittery today. Nobody's ever a 10. Always, no, sorry, nobody's always ever a 10. I was asked a question years ago by someone. They said to me, Dr. ABC, you look like you're always at a 10. And I said, nobody's always at a 10. None of us. So when you see me like I'm at a 10, of course I'm at a 10. Of course I'm doing what I'm doing. If I'm doing a workshop, I'm emceeing, I'm teaching you. You have been in my classroom. I am at a 12 sometimes when I'm lecturing. Sometimes I think I tip the scale at either 13 or 14 when I'm lecturing. I'm over 10. Sometimes I have to tell myself, calm down, because you're over teaching. If there could be a thing as over teaching, I don't think so. But I just love what I do and I'm just doing it. And then I have amazing students like some of you who just pull on me to just be amazing. So you are part of why I am amazing, because you're amazing students. And I mean that. I mean that. But there are days when you don't feel like a 10. I remember as a school teacher, I remember teaching grade six a couple of years ago, and I was having a bad day. And I walked in the classroom and I was never, and I've done this many times. And I say, children, I want to let you know Mr. Campbell is not feeling so good today. I am not in the best mood today. So I want you all to chill. I said that to my grade six class. I said, I want you all to chill, no drama, no excitement. Because I'm not in the mood today. And some of you may have said, Andrew, that maybe shouldn't say as a teacher. That's controversial. Maybe the kids don't know you're not in a good mood. Absolutely, they do. I disagree. If you disagree, that's fine. But I can tell you, absolutely. And my students get to learn empathy. They get to know that nobody's always fabulous and amazing. Because my kids think I'm fabulous. Of course, I'm fabulous. But I wasn't feeling fabulous that day, and it's okay. That's a lesson I taught them. And I spoke to them about it the next day. I said, not every day you're going to feel amazing, but it's okay. You're still you. You see, that's a thing that our young people, our teenagers need to know. Not every day you're on fleek and you're fabulous. When you're not that fabulous, you are still you. That's a lesson itself. And so I'm going to close up this talk quickly with about your external support. One of the things that I did also was to talk about self-care, when I talk about your support system. I was having breakfast with a friend this morning and we had a conversation about having people. And I got people. I got friends, I got family, I've got people. And not just a bunch of people, but the real solid people, the people who you know got your back. And you know what I loved? So during many of your reflections, you talk about having people. I'm telling you right now, everyone, in all you're getting, make sure you get people. That's a Dr. ABC note to self. I think I've had that post maybe 4 years now. In all you're getting, make sure you get people. In getting this degree, don't leave without having people. In getting your house and your car, and don't leave without getting people. We need people. And it's okay to reach out. It's okay to say, I'm not doing good. It's okay to say, I'm scared. This morning, I was having a conversation with the same friend at breakfast, and I was talking about, a situation, and I got a little weepy. I got a little weepy, and you know, in true fashion, they lent me their handkerchief. I was like, this was like a movie scene. I know you're laughing at me. It was like a scene in a movie, and he lent me his handkerchief, and yeah, you need people, and you need people you can trust enough to tell them where it hurts. You see, having people who you can't tell where it hurts makes no sense because that means you don't trust them because they may just destroy you. So get the right people, okay? And find yourself, everybody. This is something that I use a lot over the last couple. I do a couple workshops, LGBTQ issues, and this is one of the slides I've been using a lot. Find your resilience, your resistance, your hope, your strength, your voice, your joy, your power. But I want you to find yourself first. Always work on finding yourself. It's so good to connect with yourself. It's so good to know when you're thirsty. It's so good to know when you're where you're not feeling good. It's so good to know what you need, what you don't need. And it's important. A lot of you, I'm going to tell you why I speak so real to you, my students. I speak real to you because you are more than a student. You may be my student, but you're somebody's husband or somebody's wife. You're somebody's daughter, you're somebody's son, you're somebody's best friend, you're somebody's uncle, you're somebody's auntie, you're somebody's mama, you're somebody's dad. And that is why I speak to you like this, because I know you are more than just my student. You're a caregiver. You're somebody's breadwinner. You're somebody's source of strength. And that is why I want to be real with you. So as you go along, there's no question and answer. Of course, it's a video. That's my book and that's my website coaching. And that's my Teachable Moment YouTube website. But as I go along, I want to leave this with you as we go along. I want you to always remember as a student that there's a lot going on with you, and I want you to learn to continue balancing. There's a lot. There's a lot. We can get out of this. We can put this course on hold. Summer is coming. Summer courses are coming up. Get into it. Get your cup of glass. Get your tea in the morning. Go in your backyard. Put up your camera. Put up your computer. Engage in the class. Talk about with your peers. Have your group meetings. Be a part of the learning. Be a part of the growth. Be a part of it all. But remember that you have to do this and you have to do this well. You have to do this and you have to do this well. And so I want you to remember that as we go along in this work that we consider to be self-care. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I hope you benefit from this. Go ahead and share the video so others can benefit from it as well.